Hey y'all, so I am in Walmart, obviously, getting an oil change. So I just wanted to come over to the book section and look at what they got. I have no intentions on buying a book from Walmart today. I'm not at the Walmart in my area, so the book selection here hits a little different. I do know that the Walmart in my area has a more diverse book selection, and this one does not. So yeah, but I'm here getting the oil change. It is a Friday morning to be exact. I'm off today. Gotta fix this shirt. I am actually off work today because me and my husband are doing another day trip. We got another family member's wedding to attend. So I'm at Walmart browsing. I really should be finishing up my book. I am currently reading Wildfire by Hannah Grace. It's part 2 of the Maple Hills series. It's a hockey romance series, and I already read part 1, which is Icebreaker, and I loved it so much that I picked up part 2. And part 2 is good, but I don't love it as much as I loved Icebreaker. However, I am definitely ready for, I think it's called Daydreamer part 3, because it's pulling Henry, one of the main characters from the Icebreaker, and giving him his own little story. So I'm excited to get into that one. Oh, these cups are cute. But yeah, so Wildfire, it is a summer romance. So of course it's part of my summer TBR. And that book is about, it's 2 main characters. It's a female character and male character. Obviously, they both got daddy issues. And what happens is they meet up at a college party. They have a one-night stand. And then the girl, she disappears. Like, she disappears before the guy can come out the bathroom. The guy name is Russ. The girl name is Aurora, aka Rory. And she dips out of there before he comes out the bathroom from cleaning himself up. And then they both end up going to a summer camp to work at for the summer, but they did not know that they both were going to be at the summer camp. So Rory goes every single summer, and I believe this is Russ's first year going, and they didn't expect to see each other at the summer camp after their little one-night stand hookup situation. So of course they are there to work and take care of the kids in the summer camp. No hooking up. Like, the rules specifically say camp workers cannot be hooking up, and you already know what's going to happen because obviously it's a romance. So we already know what's going to happen. And in the midst of all of that, they are trying to help each other get through their daddy issues, because they literally both have daddy issues. The female main character, she has daddy issues, plus she has abandonment issues. Like, she wants to feel wanted. She's often felt abandoned by family members, guys she's dated, specifically family members, specifically her dad. And then Russ, the male main character, he struggles with trying to be his best, because his dad holds that against him. Like, you not worth nothing, you not this, you not that. So he struggles with relaxing and just letting life be. He always wants to do his best. So they both have daddy issues. Of course, at the camp, they're not supposed to be messing with each other, but again, like I said, this is a romance, so we already know how that's gonna play out. I'm about 78% in. Like, I'm literally almost done with the book. So I'm trying to finish it while we are on the road. That way I can start something new, because I'm really trying to knock out my summer TBR. And so yeah, because what is it? It's mid-August. I got until mid-September to knock out my summer TBR. So that's really what I'm trying to do. So the plan is to wrap up that book, go ahead and get a book review up on my Bookstagram channel, and what else? Start another book while we're on the road. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take us to get to our destination, but I'm definitely going to be using that time to read, of course, because I will not be driving. So yeah, that's all. I wanted to come and kind of introduce the vlog because I don't know how much talking I'm going to be doing once I actually get in the car and get on the road. So I want to come and like say, hey, what's up to you guys? And whatever day it is of the week that you're watching this, I'm hoping you're having a wonderful day. And yeah, that's it. And actually, I'm thinking, so today is Friday, and I've been thinking about creating a book journal. And I don't know, I've been debating on doing it a physical journal and just making my own, or doing a digital. And I'm leaning towards digital because I want to use my iPad more. So I'm leaning towards a digital book journal where I do the good notes. You know, I purchase good notes and then I buy a cute book journal template off of Etsy or something like that. If you guys have a book journal, let me know what type you guys have and how's it working for you. I know personally, my arm's getting tired. I know personally, if I created a physical one, I would not be consistent with it, versus me forcing myself to use my iPad more, because I've been having an iPad for years and I need to use it more. So today I'm actually getting an iPad, the little pen, and I figure that will help me when it's time for me to start doing my journaling. Now, I know it's closer to the end of the year. We're in the second part of the year, so I wanted to get a head start on it now so that I can be in a move and a groove. So I can kind of be like in a groove of doing it consistently. That way when the top of the year come, I'm already, you know, in a groove and it's part of my bookish routine. So let me know down in the comments if you do a book journal or something of the sort. I know a lot of people create their own book journals, and I know a lot of people purchase them, but let me know what format you use for book journals. Nothing else, just your book journals. So I finally finished Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and it was a very good book. Ultimately, it was very good. And I'm saying that because y'all, I almost DNF'd the book about 60% in, because they were still doing a lot of character building and introducing us to the characters like 60% in. Because I don't know if I mentioned this before, but both characters suffer with daddy issues. And I say suffer because it's a real issue for both of them. And they trauma bond. They trauma bond. And they don't really start to trauma bond until 60%. And the reason why it doesn't really hit until 60% is because the miscommunication trope is throughout this entire novel. And so, you know, they have the one night stand at the beginning of the book, and then per the synopsis, they meet each other, see each other again at the summer camp that they're both working at. They have no idea that they're both going to be at the summer camp. And then they were feeling each other after the one night stand, but due to miscommunication, they did not know how to express that to one another. Mind you, they go to the same school, they go to the same college. This is college romance. So the miscommunication trope is heavy, and I don't have a problem with the miscommunication trope, but they mention that they are miscommunicators. So I just knew it was just going to be all up and through there. So by the time we got to the spice, which was about 50% in, 60% in, I'm like, okay, so what are they about to do now? Like, what more are we talking about in the story? I literally almost DNF'd it. I told my husband, I'm like, I really don't like to DNF books. And I even went to try to see what people were saying in the reviews, and the reviews really encouraged me to finish the book, because like every romance, there's a happy ending. So I went ahead and finished the book, and I'm glad I did, because it was really good. And you got to see them overcome childhood trauma. You got to see them mend broken relationships. You got to see them overcome their personal struggles. I know the main female character, she struggled with abandonment issues, and the male main character suffered with imposter syndrome. So you got to read about them overcoming those struggles and them navigating life together to overcome those struggles. They literally was helping one another. And I think that's why I loved Icebreaker, which was part 1, because in that one, it's college romance. Yeah, they're doing a lot of screwing and stuff like that. However, the main reason for the story, or, you know, what they're trying to do is overcome something. They're trying to overcome something. And if you can get past the summer camp lollygagging that they were doing, then you will really, really enjoy the story. I thought it was really, really good. But let's just say I really enjoyed it. The beginning of the book, I was like, okay, I just want to see, you know, if they gonna hook up again. And then once we got to the second half of the book, I'm like, okay, what else? And then I really wasn't showing much emotion. If you guys remember how I rate my books, you could kind of gauge how I rated this one. I didn't really show any emotion the first half of the book, but then once we got to the second half of the book, and then me being on the road and actually being able to just focus on the book, I was laughing at some parts. Like, it was some funny parts in there. Nothing really made me sad or emotional, but I was definitely laughing at some parts. Like, for example, the author uses Disney princesses' names throughout the entire book. So the main character name is Aurora, so Disney princess. Her sister name is Elsa, Disney princess. And then she mentioned some other Disney princesses, and then one of their friends was like, damn, like, are y'all what's your parents' name? What's their names? Because we really want to know where this all came from. So ultimately, it was very, very good. I'm most excited about part 3. It's called, I think, Daydream. I'll post a picture right here. It's actually dropping this month. It publishes, I think, like more towards the end of August, and it is about Henry. And Henry is one of the hockey players that we get introduced to in the first book. And one thing about these books, they are a series, but they're like interconnected standalone series. But like any interconnected standalone series, we always suggest that you read book 1, because you're going to be introduced to all of the characters, and they are throughout both books heavily. And I loved Henry and Icebreaker. and he made an appearance in the second book as well, and I'm just so excited to read his story, because Henry was definitely one of my favorite characters. He is supposed to be, I know the synopsis for book 3 is something like he is supposed to be the captain of the hockey team, and the thing about Henry is he does not give leadership. Like, leadership is not one of his character traits. Like, he does not give leadership at all. So for him to be the captain of the hockey team, this is going to be a journey. This is going to be a journey. So I'm so excited about that. But we are packed up and getting ready to get back on the road so that we can head back home. Like I said, we went to a wedding yesterday evening, and I really didn't get any clips of the wedding, anything like that, but we did go to a wedding yesterday evening. My cousin-in-law got married and we had such a fun time. But now we are getting ready to head back and go get our babies. And en route, I wanted to go ahead and dig deeper into my summer TBR because like I told you guys, I am trying to knock out my summer TBR before summer officially ends, because I've already started mentally curating my fall TBR, because I've been getting new books in, and a lot of them have been books that I've just been wanting to read. So I am actively creating a fall TBR in my mind. So en route home, I really want to get to the first book in this Black Summer Island series. Now, I have received an ARC for book number 3, read book number 3, loved book number 3, had no clue it was part of a series. Again, another interconnected standalone series. I think it's 3 sisters. And so I have book 1 and I have book 2. They're both short. So I always tell you guys, I'm like a average reader, and our trip is not very long at all. And this book right here, I think it's 131 pages. So hopefully I can just get through this book today, like on the road today, and then finishing up when I get home. And then if I can, then I'm gonna try to finish out the weekend with this book. On Monday, I can really get into my most anticipated read of the summer, which is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. As you guys know, I've already read Yours Truly and Part of Your World, and I read them out of order because I do what I want to do. But you guys encouraged me over on Bookstagram to read Part of Your World first before I start this one. And I've seen a lot of people talk about how this one ties it all up and it all makes sense after you read the first 2. So I definitely circled the block, read book number 1 because I had already read Yours Truly first. So I want to get deep into this one and give my undivided attention to this one starting on Monday. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. This is a big one, and I don't even have the ebook for this. So I'm going to be reading it strictly from my physical copy. So I really have to make sure I carve out time to dedicate all of my undivided attention to this book, because it's usually easier for me to get through an ebook, especially at work, because I can read my ebook during downtime, but I hate to break out a physical copy of a book and during downtime at work. But yeah, so I'm excited about this one. The synopsis says Evie Summers is a workaholic who struggles with shedding her grind mentality until the consequences of her lifestyle becomes undeniable. Forced to make a much needed vacation, Evie ventures off to the Black Summer Island, a tropical paradise where dreams come true. Not only does Evie find rest and relaxation, but she also finds love unexpectedly. Is this just a 4-day vacation, or is this the beginning of a life she never knew she needed? So I'm excited about this one. Book number 3, I have it, like I said, it was an ARC. And so book number 3 was called The Forever She Deserves. And that one was Vivian and Kade's story. So book number 2 is Evie and Kobe's story. I mean, book number 1, this is book number 1, is Evie and Kobe's story, and then book number 2 is Marlo and Kai's story. So I'm excited to knock both of these off of my summer TBR. And yeah, so I'm about to get into these books, and I'll see you guys when I have some thoughts about book number 1. Y'all, I am back with my final thoughts about this book. I know I did not come and give you guys any midpoint thoughts, because this is a novella and it's literally only 133 pages when you count the epilogue. And did I read the epilogue? Yes, I read the epilogue. Y'all, this book was very, very good. Just to recap, it was about a young lady named Evie Summers. She was a workaholic. She basically needed a break from work. Her friends dragged her to the Black Summer Island for a 4-day vacation where she was supposed to drop all of her work things and just focus on relaxation and or turning up, where she ends up meeting a guy by the name of, I get the brothers mixed up because it's 3 of them. Kobe. So she meets Kobe. He is working at a coffee shop, little hut, because it's on an island, obviously. So a little hut, coffee shop hut. And she was sent to go get drinks for her and her girls. And when she arrives at the coffee shop hut, she doesn't realize it's a coffee shop hut and not a bar. And so she requests for the strongest thing he has for her and her 2 friends, and he gives her 3 shots of espresso. And she spits it out. She's like, what the heck is this? And then all the women that are surrounding Kobe, because he's like the finest guy, everybody's like, Kobe, give me another drink. Kobe, give me your specialty. Kobe, 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 Kobe. One of the ladies was like, did you realize that this was a coffee shop? She was like, oh my God. So she chugged literally 3 shots of espresso. And if you are a coffee drinker, then you know that's death. Okay, death in a cup. So she ends up meeting Kobe, and Kobe's like, you know, I want to take you out on a date. I'm really feeling you. And she's like, boy, you a stranger, this, that, and the third. But anyway, she agrees to the date. Some other stuff start happening or whatever. She get forced to pick up some work while she's on vacation, and her friends is like, girl, no, you need to be putting that work laptop down. Y'all know how the workaholic girlies are. And so, yeah, I don't want to give too much, because if I do, then I'll spoil the book. But it was very, very good. What I can say is her ex-boyfriend does appear in the story, and I hated him. Like, literally hated him. Kobe has some trauma. Evie has some trauma, basically, that they had to get through. Like I said, Kobe is one of the brothers. Is 3 of them, so he's one of the 3 brothers, and the 3 brothers basically had some ongoing childhood trauma that they were trying to basically overcome. So Evie coming into his life as a friend or whatever, they talk about that. She talks about her dating life and her work life and all of that. But it's a short romance, and it has tons of spice. So if you're into spice, you will love it. It was very, very good. And then immediately I picked up the next one, which is the 3rd one in the series, is The Family She Found. And this is about the second friend, Marlo. Now, Marlo, she's a hot girl. she is single and loves to mingle type of girl. So when they were on the trip for Evie, Marlo was there and she ran into Kai. Now, when she runs into Kai, Kai is a bachelor hot boy, okay? He is a hot boy just like she's a hot girl, and they are both stubborn and they don't want to be in relationships, and all they want to do is mess with people and leave them alone. So in this book here, it starts off 9 months after this one. So after 9 months, they return back to Black Summer Island, and her and Kai end up meeting up after 9 months. Over the course of those 9 months, they were basically, I guess you could say, having a long-term entanglement, a long distance entanglement, because they're not officially boyfriend and girlfriend. And then it just go up from there. So in this book, you are pretty much finding out why Marlo doesn't want to be in a relationship, and why Kai doesn't want to be in a relationship, and why the two of them are basically hot boy and hot girls. So very fun, very cute, perfect for the summer. Cute novellas. If you are a fast reader, you can really read all 3 of these books in one day. I read majority of this while we were on the road, and I finished it when we got home. And then I'm just picking up this one in passing and just reading it because I'm back home, so I don't really just have that long stretch. But ultimately, this series is pretty good. I highly recommend it. If you follow me on Bookstagram, then you've already seen my review for both of them. By the time you see this video, my review for both of them should be up on my Bookstagram page, as well as my review for Wildfire. So yeah, I just wanted to come and close out this vlog because I was editing and I realized I never came and even talked about these next 2 books. I need to go ahead and get my workday started, and yeah, so until next time, ta-ta.